During battle, a fully armored medieval knight charging across a muddy field functioned as the heavy tank of his era. This was a human covered in 25 kilograms of solid steel, riding a 700-kilogram warhorse. When moving with that much mass and momentum, every piece of gear had to serve a functional purpose. In this high-impact environment, armor was the difference between survival and a very quick death. Look closely at the knight's feet. These are sabatons. Notice how the polished steel extends far past the toes into a long, extreme point. They appear impossible to walk in and look like a liability in a fight. Why would an elite warrior heading into a violent clash choose footwear that seems to actively ruin their balance and movement? A popular theory circulating online suggests there is a hidden logic here, that these shoes weren't a fashion mistake, but a secret battlefield technology. This stirrup locking hypothesis claims the long steel point was designed to slide under the stirrup's front arch, wedging the foot securely. This mechanical lock provided vital stability to absorb the massive backward impact of a lance strike without being thrown from the saddle. If this theory holds up, the sabaton is a specialized military innovation rather than an awkward aesthetic choice. Verifying a tactical innovation like a stirrup lock requires looking for historical documentation. However, a search through the records reveals a complete void. No surviving medieval combat manuals, battlefield instructions, or notes from armor makers mention any kind of locking feature for the feet. Without written records, we have to look at the physical evidence. When we see the sabatons in context with the heavy body plating of a full suit of armor, the engineering theory begins to break down. The steel tips on many surviving artifacts are far too thin to withstand the crushing physical forces of a cavalry charge. They are hollow and fragile, likely to buckle the moment they are wedged into a heavy iron stirrup. Lacking both written proof and the physical durability for high-impact combat, the secret technology theory begins to collapse. The hardware itself points toward a different conclusion. Many of these steel tips were designed to be unscrewed or removed entirely before a knight entered close-quarters combat on the ground. Their true origin lies in the elite civilian fashion of the 14th and 15th centuries, a trend known as poulaines. These manuscripts show the extravagant footwear of the nobility. The length of a pointed shoe was a direct indicator of wealth and status. Knights, part of this aristocracy, commanded armorers to forge steel shoes matching their high-status wardrobes. A knight's armor served as a highly visible, walking advertisement of his wealth and social dominance. Even though extreme fashion dictated the shape, it didn't render the sabatons useless on the battlefield. Underneath the points, the overlapping steel plates provided essential foot flexibility while protecting the bones from arrows and crushing downward blows. The heavy steel plates provided the functional defense, while the hollow, extended point provided the fashionable silhouette. The sabaton represents a popular today because modern audiences tend to view military history through a lens of pure, calculated function. For the medieval nobility, physical defense was inseparable from the projection of noble identity. This knight's effigy shows how he chose to be eternally memorialized in his armor, with pointed shoes signaling his aristocratic rank in death. Historical artifacts are rarely just weapons or just fashionable clothing. They often serve several cultural purposes. The true story of the sabaton proves that in the Middle Ages, survival was only part of the requirement. A true knight had to